Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Lee and I'm back with another video. Today I am going to be showing you how to do a seafood boil with king crab legs. I also have some snow crabs. So come over here. I've already got my water pre-boiling and I'm going to use this large pan that I purchased from Sam's to do my king crab legs in because the legs are rather large. Over here I have my king crab legs, my sausages, any type. I got the Sunset. My eggs, my corn on the cob, my butter, my potatoes. And in this pan, I have some lobster, some scallops, some mussels, and some shrimp. I have my seasonings over here. This is only if you prefer to do these seasonings because sometimes I don't season them because I always use a dip. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my corn on the cob in the pot along with my eggs and potatoes. And I've already pre-washed everything. I'm going to go ahead and put my eggs in there, let them fall to the bottom. I promise you they won't crack because of the water. And they just float down to the bottom. Then I'm going to drop my corn on the cob in there. I've already pre-washed everything. And this is the stuff you want to boil your sausages and corn and eggs first because it takes a little longer to boil than everything else. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my potatoes in. Now over here in this pan, I'm going to go ahead and put my water in here and let it pre-boil so that I can go ahead and drop my king crabs in there. And in this pan, I'm going to go ahead and put the king crabs in first. Let them cook for about 10 minutes. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to drop the lobster in here along with the shrimp. Because you always want to do your lobster or your shrimp lastly. Because of the simple fact that they cook really fast. And if you overcook them, they'll be rubbery and tough. So you always want to only cook your lobster for probably about 15 to 20 minutes. If it's frozen, give it 20, maybe about 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and I'll be right back. So I got my water pre-boiling and I'm going to go ahead and put my king crab legs in there. One at a time. Doesn't matter which way you put them. And while I'm waiting for those to cook a little bit, I like to cover them with some foil. That helps the steam go through them a little faster. And I couldn't find any of the other foil, so I have to use this short foil over here. Let that cook for a few minutes. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and cut up my sausages. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut up my sausages. And I'm going to use about 4 of these. And you have to rinse these too. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these into 4 or 5, either or. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to go ahead and drop them in there. Be careful because the water is hot by now. So now that my king crabs have been cooking for a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and put my lobster in there because it's kind of frozen, so I want it to cook for at least 15 minutes. Now when you cook a lobster, you want to always get your shears and you want to cut the top of it open, and that's kind of hard to do when it's frozen sometimes, but just go ahead and get up in there. That makes, when you're ready to eat it, this here will like bust open a little bit and it'll be easier to peel and eat. I'm going to go ahead and remove my foil. I'm going to put my lobster in there. Doesn't matter how it turns. I'm going to go ahead and drop my mussels in there. I'm going to go ahead and remove that one also. Now let me tell you, be careful with your mussels because the mussels are really salty. So sometimes I do pre-boil them, but since I washed them real good and let them soak in warm water, it shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to go ahead and drop my shrimp in there. Just place them around. And also, I'm going to go ahead and drop my scallops in there. Either way it goes, it doesn't matter how you drop them in there, they're going to cook all the same. I like to add a stick of butter to that. Just let it sit there. It will melt. Now, over here with my sausages, eggs, and corn, I like to add just a little bit of seasoning. So I'm going to put some accent in. And put a little bit over there. Because you don't want to do too much seasoning. And this is optional because when you do your sauces and you're dipping, you don't really have to have seasoning. I'm going to add some Old Bay. Not much. Add a little bit to all of that stuff. Let it go through it a little bit. I'm going to add some garlic powder. And I don't add much of that either because when I make my sauce, I use the good old garlic powder heavily. And I'm going to add some crushed red peppers. Just a little bit. I'm going to let that boil for a few more minutes, maybe around 10 minutes, and I'll be right back. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of snow crab legs because everything is just about done and it's looking delicious. I'm going to cover that back up. And let it cook for about 5 minutes because I did have the snow crab legs sitting in warm water. They've set in warm water. And you know, all the snow crabs and the king crabs, they're already pre-cooked when you buy them. And then they're previously frozen, and so after I've let everything thaw out, I let it soak in the warm water, so it shouldn't take that long to cook. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my sausages out of here because I don't want them to get too fat. And I'm going to put them in this bowl and rest them to the side. Now some people find it easier to do the sausages separate or put them in a little later. That also helps also, but I don't mind taking mine out. I just don't like them to get too big and fat Okay, guys. I'm going to go ahead and remove my foil. Burn. And as you can see, everything has cooked up rather lovely. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and place my sausages in there. Corn and my eggs in there. And potatoes. I just want to... Oh, and one of my eggs popped, so we can't have that. Go ahead and turn that off. And when I'm going to go ahead and finish this. And when I come back, I'm going to go ahead and set it up for you. So what I like to do is I like to slice up a couple of limes. And this is also optional. Just to garnish it off with some limes and a little bit of chives. And I am going to show you the spread. And this is my spread right here. Now, if you follow these directions, you'll have a lovely seafood boil, nice and tasty, not overcooked, not overdone or anything.